I wish to acknowledge everyone present here, especially my colleagues, representative of the Department of Agricultural Production, represented by Mr. Raz Yakini. Okay. Okay, I should just. Okay. He said I should allow goodwill message first. You are okay with that? Okay. So I think I've been told that we need to take a couple of goodwill messages before I give my opening remarks. Thank you very much. So I'll hand over back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for understanding. Please pardon me. We have goodwill messages from the various alumni organization representatives. So Mr. Shadia will give his opening remark after the goodwill messages. So from the members of the high table, I will be going for Mr. Razaki for the goodwill message. Please, let's give him a clap ovation.
Thank you very much. My name is Yakini Rasak. My goodwill message goes thus to Danish Fellowship Center. I attended the program to cure how we can make a safety of our food. That is, when you have a food in excess, how can you keep it so that you can prevent food loss? There are a series of technologies to keep our food safe and to even make the farmer gain a lot in future. All this we gain from Danish Embassy, that is when I travel to Denmark. And I still wish that in Nigeria we should be able to practice a lot of this, because we can notice that during the time of harvest, our farmer will have a lot of harvest, but because of the glut in the market, they will set at the low price. Then we can have a way how to make it, at least to preserve it, at least. At the same time, we can also process it. These are the things that are being done in Denmark, that we see that at least if we can practice this in Nigeria, we gain a lot. I wish Nigeria good luck and we move forward in a good way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll be handing over the mic to Dr. George Uzoaga.
Thank you very much. The name is not supposed to be difficult to pronounce. It's Uzoaga. Uzoaga. Yeah. So it's my pleasure to be here on behalf of the Chief Veterinary Officer of Nigeria, Dr. Vakuru Konumba. I want to acknowledge all the members of the high table, the Director, Agricultural Land Climate Change Management, Mr. Oshadia Olanipeku, representative of the Animal Husbandry Services Department, and all other members of the high table. So as I said, I'm representing the Director, and he has given me a little written message, which I'm going to read. Thank you. I congratulate the Danida Fellowship Nigeria Alumni on today's event, which is the maiden edition of the Alumni Capacity Building Program, which I believe shall undoubtedly the professional knowledge and skill of all participants, as we know that learning is meant to be a continuous process. From information available to me, Danida stands for Danish International Development Agency, a brand used by the Denmark Minister of Foreign Affairs to provide humanitarian and development assistance to other countries, focusing on areas such as stability and protection, social progress, green growth, and human rights and democracy, with a new development policy that aims towards fighting poverty by promoting human rights and economic growth. Now, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security staff have benefited from very short at the Danida Fellowship Center in Denmark. Some of these include food safety in dairy sector, sustainable livestock, sustainable food systems, among others. And I am proud to say some of our officers in the Department of Veterinary and Pest Control Services have been beneficiaries of these courses. People like Dr. Ilya Johanna, Dr. Moses Tarfa, and Dr. Shuaibu Mohammed Osu. And these are bringing to bear the knowledge gained from this training on the various official assignments that they are given to. So the theme of today's event, which is given the need for production of the much needed food for the teeming population of the country, especially food of animal origin. In this regard, sustainable feed management and livestock production are crucial components of ensuring food security, environmental stewardship, and economic viability in the agricultural sector, involving the optimizing the use of available resources like water, land, and nutrients to produce animal feed. It includes practices such as precision farming, crop rotation, and the use of cover crops to maintain soil health. It also encourages the utilization of non-traditional food ingredients like agricultural byproducts, food waste, and insect protein to reduce reliance on conventional grains and reduce environmental footprints. As we all know, balancing the nutrient content in the animal feed to match specific needs of different livestock species cannot be emphasized. By so doing, we reduce waste, improve feed efficiency, and lower cost and environmental impact. Second to the last paragraph. The cost of feed typically constitutes the largest portion of livestock production. I hope we are all aware of that. Feed prices and regional difference. For some species like poultry or pig, feed can even cost up to 80% of the total production cost. This therefore necessitates the sourcing of good quality and affordable feed ingredients, good processing and storage methods to avoid loss of nutrients and contamination with toxins, pathogens which are harmful to livestock when ingested. Example, insecticides, herbicides, aspergillus, fungi, which produces aflatoxins, among others. Finally, at this juncture, I dare say that the Department of Veterinary and Pest Control Services of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is pleased to identify with the laudable objective of Danida Alumni Network. Can we put our hands together for them? And we shall continue to collaborate with you in every way possible in the realization of these objectives. I wish you all fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to welcome Mr. Labaran Sani for his goodwill message.
Thank you very much. Members of the high table, participants of this training, good morning to you all. It's my honor to be invited today on behalf of my organization, that's NISAL PLC, to offer a goodwill message. Let me start by saying the topic for the discussion today, which is sustainable feed management and livestock production, is very apt considering the inflationary effect of both meat products and dairy products in the market. So NISAL wishes to congratulate the organizers, and the doors of NISAL are open for collaboration. We have various financing products that are tailored to the feed and livestock production. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful training session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sani. I want to welcome Chief Sir Daniel Okafor for his goodwill message.
Good morning, everybody here, the director and their representatives. I welcome all of you here. We have a small slogan that we normally say. said, no farmer, great farmer. Really, this is a very good opportunity to say thank you to the organizers of this program. From all Farmers Association of Nigeria and the Representative Farmers Association of Nigeria, we bring this goodwill message. One thing that is happening in this country is collaboration with the farmers. I really thank the organizers for calling us to be part of this program in Nigeria, and we are saying a big thank you for the organizers and whoever have participated in this program. This 2 days program is where we are talking about how do we manage the problem in this country in the sustainable feed management, as we are talking about. We know the problem we are talking about. We are now to be learned about the folder management that we are talking about, because there's no much food. That is why you see a lot of crisis with herders and farmers in this country. So what we are trying to do, we have everybody here who is a farmer. What we promise is to step down all the training that we are having these 2 days to other state and local government and the world in this country. So, and I believe this is exactly what we need. And I thank the organizers and I thank the participants. Please, everybody should learn more on this, what we are talking about. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Sir Daniel. Last but not the least, I want to welcome His Royal Highness Jubil Shaba for his goodwill message.
Good morning, sirs. I thank the organizers in this occasion, and what I plead to the organizers that she extend this kind of workshop to the area councils in all over Nigeria. The area councils with the farmers in the local area, they need to know more about the farming. So we are not in the olden day farming, we are now in the modern system. So I want the organizers, they should try for us and extend the workshop to the area councils. Thank you very much.
His Highness thanks everybody and thanks the organizers, and he asked that this program should be extended to the area councils. Now I want to welcome again Mr. Oshadi Alao for his opening address.
Thank you, madam. It's like you know how to pronounce the name properly. I think she must be my sister. Somebody has just whispered to me now that she's my sister. Thank you. I welcome you all to this 2-day workshop, which is a 2-day event on capacity building on sustainable feed management and livestock production in Nigeria. And before I proceed with my welcome address, let me quickly acknowledge each and every one present here. Let me start from our royal father, in person of His Excellency Jubil Shaba, the Echu of Key under the Kuje Area Council. You're welcome, sir. Equally, I need to acknowledge the presence of the representative of the Director of Animal Production, Animal Husbandry Services, in person of Mr. Razaki Yakini. I used to call him Rashidi Yakini because there is a footballer known by that name. I equally acknowledge the presence of the vet, the representative of the vet Inland Services Department, in person of Mr. George Uzoaga, the representative of NISA, Mr. Nabaran, and then our main stakeholder, the Vice President, Hafan, They are very main stakeholders in everything we do in the agri sector. So we must acknowledge them in person of Chief Daniel Okafor. I can see the red cap, so I know he's a chief. Thank you, sir. Chairman Potato Association. I don't have his name. He's not on seat. I don't think so. The organizers of this program and my fellow colleagues from the ministry. I'm very sure majorly most of the participants here are from the Ministry of Agri, if I'm not wrong. So you are welcome to this day workshop. I wish the ministry wish to express a deep appreciation for the trust you have placed on us and the investment and development of your alumni through the Danida Fellowship Center, sponsored capacity programs in Kenya, in Denmark, in the last 2 to 3 years. The training provided valuable and innovative insights from the international experts and has broadened the knowledge and skills of the beneficiaries to transform the ministry and the country as a whole. Precisely, talking about my department, at least four officers from my department have benefited from the DFC sponsored training program titled Climate Change, Mitigation, Adaptation, and Resistance. And with many more from my sister departments like the Animal Husbandry Services as well as the Veterinary Services. And based on these, the ministry looks forward to continued partnership and collaboration for manpower development. We equally canvass for a strong synergy to drive the ministry's agricultural food production. Of importance in the Nigerian farmers, presently, my department is driving a program which is referred to as what? The Nigerian Farmer Soil Health Card Scheme. And that's why you see me acknowledging the representative of AFAM. We're going to move from the north to the south. We are starting from the 19 northern states. We want to sensitize farmers as per what the program entails, because we want everybody to be carried along. It's a way of reducing blanket fertilizer application and encouraging for soil site specific fertilizer application. This way, farmers will not be spending any buying fertilizers that are not required for their production. So that's why I specifically acknowledge you, sir. And on this note, like I said, it is aimed to improve soil fertility, ensure balanced fertilizer application, and enhance climate resilience. This way, we will equally be encouraging carbon sink. My brother here mentioned about regenerative agriculture. This is a way to ensure that we have carbon sink and farmers can equally enhance their livelihood through carbon credits. So that is the angle with which we are looking, the ministry is looking at. So this is a paradigm shift from the traditional blanket fertilizer application to location and crop site specific fertilizer recommendation. So on this note, I wish you all a constructive deliberation at this 2-day knowledge sharing event. And I say thank you all. God bless you. Happy deliberation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shadia. That was a beautiful presentation. We will be observing the group photograph. And this will be the order of the photograph. We will have members of the high table with alumni members. Please, all alumni members, can we come for our group photographs with members of the high table? Please, to save time, let's make it snappy. Thank you. taking only 3 photographs. So after members of the high table with the alumni members, we would have members of the high table with all female participants. Please, all female participants stand by. And after that, we will have members of the high table with all male participants. So let's all stand by. All female participants, please. All female participants, while the male participants stand by. All female participants. All female participants. I'm a female participant too. Yes, I'm a female participant. male participants, please. Thank you. All male participants, please. Let's save time. All male participants.
Sorry, we still need to sound side. Go in the count of three. One, sorry, sir. We'll go in the count of three. One, two, three.
Thank you very much, members of the High Table. Thank you for honoring us. We are grateful. All right. It's time for self-introduction. I will be going from table to table. I will hand the mic over to you. You will introduce yourself so that when I meet you somewhere, or when you meet me somewhere, we won't be saying, boss. This boss is already looking at me. He knows I'm going to start with him. He's in the spirits. All right, so let's start with you. Thank you.
My name is Ibrahim Alasa from Alfan, FCT chapter. My name is Ibrahim Alasa, representing Alfan, FCT chapter, Abaji branch.
You're welcome. Please, let's concentrate too, because I'm going to be asking jam question after this introduction. Yes, I can just ask anybody to tell me some. So don't think this session is not important. I can be very good like that.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand in with you is by name Abdullah Isalu, the Secretary, Afan, Abaji branch.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Musa Nasiru Ashara, Secretary, Afan Foundation, Kwali branch.
Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and my name is Muhammad Osman Iya, the Secretary of Afan Gagolada.
Good afternoon. I'm Mohamed Shaibu Banem, Assistant Coordinator, Afan Gagolada branch.
You're welcome. So we have members of the, I think, executive members of Afan. That's all Farmers Association of Nigeria. We have the Gwagwalada branch and the, did I hear Kujiro? Abaji, please. Let's encourage them by clapping for them. I move to the next table. Can we meet you, sir?
Good afternoon, distinguished participants and members of the High Table. My name is Ibitayo Femi James from Department of Animal Husbandry Services, Animal Feed and Feed Security Division. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is George Awuna. I am of the Nutrition and Food Safety Department, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Thank you.
My name, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Olorunfemi Oluwabengapo from the Department of Animal Husbandry Services. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Oyedemi Odoyo from the Department of Husbandry Services, Commercial Ruminant and Dairy Production Division. Thank you.
You're welcome. We have on this table members of the Animal Husbandry Department. Welcome, sirs.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abdrazak Baba Usman. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abdrazak Baba Usman, a representative from NISA.
Good morning, everybody. Labaran Sani is my name. Good morning, everybody. Labaran Sani is my name, representing NISA. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chongda Samuel Emmanuel. I'm representing NASA.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Latifa Lawal, representing NERSA.
These NERSA people, they are gentle people. You hear the morning already. My name is, I'm representing NERSA. Please, let's clap for NERSA representatives.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Obiora Ugo. I'm the coordinator, AFAN, Amak Area Council.
Good afternoon, everyone. Vice President, Vice Chairman in AFAN, Cereal Crop.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Awurujoy Nicholas. I'm from AFAN, the Desk Officer FC.
Good afternoon, members. Akabweze Edwin is my name. AFAN member, FCT, and Chairman, Potato Farmers Association, FCT.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Areola Samuel, AFAN member. And interestingly, this year, AFAN is having her Hamas Day. So we want to use this opportunity to say you are welcome. You can ask for questions, our members, for any of our members. Thank you. God bless you.
My name is Oga Okamaka Evening. I'm coordinator of Kwalira Council under AFAN.
Good afternoon, all. I am Mrs. Ainde Josephine, retired civil servant, now coordinator, Gwari Area Council, AFAN.
You're welcome. We have the big shots in the AFAN, the coordinators, the vice coordinator, vice, you are welcome, sirs and mass. You like say I go join this AFAN soon.
Good afternoon. My name is Mohammed Fatima Yakubu. I'm a AFAN member from Abaji.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Musa, Abaji coordinator, AFAN chapter.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Perpetual Nkechioka for my name. I am the FCT chairperson of Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anne Omonigo Stephen, FCT Welfare Officer, AFAN.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Okage Rubechiko Victor. I'm a member of AFAN.
You're welcome. Still, we have AFAN people. Welcome, AFAN members.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Amina Mohammed, Federal Ministry of Agric and Food Security, Department of Animal Husbandry Services, and also a Danida alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good day, everyone. My name is Cecilia Onimowo. I'm from Alpha Almac chapter. Thank you.
Welcome, ma.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor Uchuchuku, a member of Alpha Abuja chapter.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mercy Chidebre. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mercy Chidebre. I'm a member of Potato Farmers Association of Nigeria.
I won't need to ask members of the high table to introduce themselves again.
Thank you. My name is Chris Samuk, and a member of Farmers Association. Farmers.
You're welcome, sir. We already know Chief Sir Daniel Kafo, the Vice President, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, and also His Royal Highness Jubril Shaba, the HU of King. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Stella Umo Ekanem. I'm a former work with Ministry of Agri and Food Security, but now I've been posted to Ministry of Finance, Home Finance Department. I'm an alumni member.
She'll give us all the money we need for farming.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Ibe Vivian from Department of Animal Husbandry Services, Monogastric Division.
Good morning, everyone. Ogumakinyo Olabisi is my name, from Department of Animal Husbandry Services.
Good morning, all. I'm Ajisha Fek Justina from Federal Ministry of Agri and Food Security, Department of Animal Husbandry Service.
Welcome, ma.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Musa Juliet from Federal Ministry of Agri and Food Security, Department of
Good morning, all. Name is Izzy Chidima. I'm a participant.
Good afternoon, everybody. Still here, your chief servant, Ezude Bunami of Animal Husbandry Services. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Selomi Bawa from the Department of Veterinary and Pest Control Services and an alumni of the DFC. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Mapundahi from the Department of Veterinary and Pest Control Services. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Paul Obase from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in the Department of Planning and Pest Coordination.
Good afternoon, all. I am Dr. Victor Dangoji, a veterinary doctor, a farmer too, and I work with the private sector in feed production, a member of Poultry Association too, but I think before I leave here, I will have to join AFAN.
Seconded. You may have to join AFAN before he leaves here today.
Good day, everybody. My name is Ifechuku. I'm your photographer.
So if you need photography services, contact him.
Good day, everyone. My name is Oga Emmanuel. I'm the media personnel. Thank you.
Media personnel, and I've introduced myself earlier. Okay, one more person.
My name is John.
You're welcome. So I've introduced myself earlier. My name is Princess at the fair. I'm a corporate MC. You can invite me for, I do wedding ceremonies, I don't do burial. You're welcome, everybody. The next business of the day is the talk on the topic good animal husbandry practices to mitigate against antimicrobial resistance and promote food and feed security. This will, and our lecturer for the day is Mr. Femi Ebitayo. Anyway, as good students, so there will be question and answer session.
Thank you very much. Greetings once again, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. The slides, please. Please, I think I need to relocate from here so that I can speak to my slides. Once again, my name is Ibitayo Femi James, representing the representative of Director Animal Husbandry Services, Mr. Ako. So you can call me representative of the representative. I'm going to speak on good animal husbandry practices to mitigate against antimicrobial resistance and promote food and feed security. Next slide. What is antimicrobial resistance? Antimicrobial resistance is the ability of microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, parasites to be able to resist antimicrobial agents such as antibacterial, antiparasitic, antiviral, to the extent that they begin to grow, they begin to live and multiply, thereby making the effect of the antimicrobial agents ineffective in the face of infections. And so, what are the effects, what are the causes rather of antimicrobial resistance? The effects could be overuse or misuse of antibiotics. It can even be a result of poor infection and lack of new antimicrobial agents. And as a result, it can easily lead to spending too much money on treating infections and, of course, high mortality rate. Next slide. What is animal husbandry? Animal husbandry is a kind of care, management, and breeding of domestic animals for production of food, fiber, and other products. In fact, some call animal husbandry a kind of cultivation, whereby when you, just like a farmer cultivate crop, likewise you cultivate your animals. During cultivation of crops, what do farmers do? They prepare the ground, they plant, they tender, they make sure that the plants do well so that we can have food. Just that way, a livestock farmer has to take care of the animals, prepare where they're going to stay, give them good water, give them good food, so that they can give you good products. And what are the products we are talking about? We are talking about eggs, talking about meat, talking about milk. You know, that is why they say, whatever you give to your animals, give them back to you. Give them garbage, they give you back garbage. And just like we all know, you are exactly what you eat. So the primary aim of animal husbandry is to improve animal welfare, increase productivity and feed efficiency, enhance product quality, reduce environmental impact, and promote sustainable agriculture. And animal husbandry helps to meet a growing global demand for animal products to ensure food security. Next slide. This is just livestock outlook. As you can see on the slide, agriculture provides 21%, contribute 21% to GDP. And while livestock, out of that 21%, provides 9%. But recently, that number has increased because agriculture contributes now about 30%, and that is about 144 trillion naira, whereby livestock, out of that 144 trillion naira, supply 6 trillion naira to GDP. Next slide. That is to show you the importance of livestock when agriculture is concerned. This is the head count of livestock population. We have cattle, 22.38, goat, sheep and goat, pigs, having poultry as the highest. Because of course in Nigeria, the highest livestock consumed is poultry. Next slide. Livestock outlook, just as I have mentioned, and livelihoods, that is the income that people make or the way it changes their lives. And that is what we have over there. Pastoral, agro-pastoral, commercial, and the types of production system we have in Nigeria. We have the extensive, semi-intensive, and intensive. Next slide. So this is just an experiment taken by Shina Sami et al. In India, trying to tell us how animal husbandry is being provided with food, water, antibiotics. And according to him, cattle takes the highest antibiotics, whereby horses take the lowest. And of course, when we talk about food, cattle takes the lead, water following, same, and antibiotics. That is to tell us that not that antibiotics are completely bad. They are essential in production. But at the same time, the problem we are having is the use of them. How are they used? Are they overused? Are they underused? Because the effect of their use is going to have a detrimental effect on human that consumes them. Next slide. What are good animal husbandry practices? This involves a combination of principles and actions that ensure the health, the welfare, the productivity of animal. Now to talk of it, we just talked about animal husbandry practices. And now when you add good to it, that is extra effort in making sure that you put in your best in terms of housing, in terms of good health, in terms of their health needs, in terms of welfare, we're talking about food, water, and all that, so that they can give you the purest of products that you need. And proper nutrition by providing a balanced diet that meets the animal's nutritional requirements. Provision of clean water, like I've said, shelter, healthcare, biosecurity, by implementing measures that prevent introduction and spread of diseases. Welfare by proper handling and restraint through gentle and humane handling of animals to minimize stress. Next slide. Like I said earlier, all these things work together to ensure that animals are well taken care of. Because when animals are well taken care of, they will pass through less stress, They will not fall sick often, thereby reducing the activities, the need for you to begin to use drugs on them. When they are given clean water, when they are given adequate, balanced diet ration, when they are tended, put them in a good house, whereby they don't have to run from pillar to post or pass through stress. We warrant you to give them any form of drugs. Thereby, they are bound to do well. And when animals do well, any products that you consume from them, you are bound to gain from it. And we talk about biosecurity by implementing measures that prevent introduction of spread of disease. Welfare by proper handling and restraint through gentle and humane handling. We talk about breeding, we talk about hygienic environment and good record keeping. Know your animals. Know who is who. Know what is what. Know where you are getting them from and know where you are getting your feeds from. Next slide. Mitigating against antimicrobial resistance and promoting food and feed security. Like we all know, the essence of food. But oftentimes, even in different fora, we normally talk about food security, but nobody cares to talk about feed security. And they forget to know that feed security is food security. Because when you take care of your, I remember severally I've been to programs whereby they only talk about food, forgetting the primary, which is feed. Because it is what you give your animal, they eventually give back to you as food. Good animal husbandry practices can play a very crucial role in mitigating antimicrobial resistance, promoting food and feed security, and ensuring sustainable livestock production through the following. 1. Responsible use of antibiotics on animals. Underline the word responsible use. If you don't use drugs or antimicrobial agents on your animals, if they are not used responsibly, there are so many hazard effects that will follow. Good to know I have some of our colleagues here at the Veterinary Council that I'm very sure they will be nodding where they are seated. The use of antibiotics or medicated feeds for disease control must be in accordance. Treated animals are kept on the farm and ensure that the animals and their products are not used for human. Animals that are on drugs should have their withdrawal. Before you consume them, most times they tell you 7 to 14 days. You cannot just consume animals that are on drugs. Of course, there are going to be certainly residual effects that if any human consume them, it bounces on you. And you have residue of those antibiotics in your system. And you know how it works. You yourself, you are immune. That even sometimes when you are sick and you have to take some drugs, because you have some residue inside of you, you have to go for higher level of such drugs to be able to cure you of whatever ailment. Because your body has grown a kind of resistance. Treated animals are kept, yes, routine testing. In case of reportable disease outbreak, testing must be conducted. There's need for our laboratories to be working. You know, I just showed you the other time what we have in India. One of the problems we are having is that we don't have adequate data in Nigeria. I just came from a workshop recently where they are talking about data. And I told them, I said, government is doing both several works that the government is doing. But we only have our reports descriptive. We have only descriptive reports. And these reports needed be transformed to figurative, so that, because that is what is sellable everywhere. Nobody have the time to be reading wordy reports. But you translate them to good readable and understandable data. You know, people. That is why we call that practice global best practice. We need to move with tide. We need to move with the rest part of the world. Is my slide over? Next slide, please. Effective biosecurity. Limit access to farm and animal areas to authorized personnel only. Don't allow crowd on your farm. Regular cleaning and disinfection of animal areas. Personnel hygiene. Isolating new or sick animals to prevent disease spread. Implementing vaccination and health programs to protect your animals. Next slide. Next slide. Effective biosecurity continue controlling pests like rodents, birds, and insects that have the ability to carry disease-causing organisms. Properly managing manure and waste to prevent disease spread. All these are good animal husbandry practices that you can ensure, when you carry them out on your farm adequately and holistically, you are sure to have a safe farm that that takes care of safe animals to produce safe products. Sanitizing vehicles, equipment, properly disposing dead animals, conducting regular farm inspections to identify biosecurity risk. Don't leave your farms to unskilled hands. Yes, next slide. Vaccination and health programs I've mentioned. Maintaining accurate record of animal health. Record keeping is very essential. It helps you to follow what is going on your farm. You follow the activities on the farm. You know your animals, like I said earlier. You know there is need for you to know your animals, know their health condition, and know their lineage. Good hygiene and sanitation, increased productivity, improved feed efficiency. Like I said earlier, feed is very essential. If there's no feed, there's no food. Next slide. Enhance meat, milk, and egg quality. Because when your animals are doing well, you will have good quality meat, good quality milk, good quality egg. And when you reduce food waste, you minimize food waste by reducing animal mortality and morbidity. Good animal health practices ensure healthy animals and animal sources food for food and nutrition security. One of the change mantra of our present administration is food security. And no wonder they are doing all they could to ensure that they work towards the mandate. Sustainable feed sourcing and nutrition. Ensure sustainable feed sourcing. Know the source of your feed. Don't just buy feed anywhere. Know where your feed is coming from and the composition of the feed. And reduce environmental impact. Formulate a balanced diet and ensure the feed mix meet the animal's nutritional need. Considering considering energy, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Add supplements if necessary. Consult with a nutritionist or veterinarian. Underline those words. Seek expert advice to ensure optimal nutrition. Explore alternative feed sources. Next slide. Improve feed quality. Quality of feed is essential. You can't negotiate it. When your feed lacks certain quality to your animals, they begin to develop certain defects that will make you even to spend more money. I think a bag of feed now is around 25,000 or above, and thereby you can be very sure to see anything on the roadside in the name of feed. So you need to take caution. Implement precision nutrition to minimize waste. Consider using feed additives like probiotics. Stay updated on the latest research and technological advancements. So that means there's need to intensify research in our higher institutions and in our research institutes. Remember to always consult local regulations, experts, and veterinarians to ensure compliance and optimum nutrition for your specific livestock operation. Ensure feed and water quality to prevent contamination. Like it is often said, any water you cannot drink, don't give to your animals. Because if you give them bad food or bad water, it's still coming back to your stomach. So be careful what you give them. Next slide. In conclusion, by adopting good, not only animal husbandry practices, but good animal husbandry practices. And if I may ask my audience, what's the opposite of good? So you can join it with that if you want the opposite. Livestock farmers can play a vital role in mitigating antimicrobial resistance, promoting food and feed security through sustainable livestock production. And you know, food is very expensive now. So don't negotiate the quality so that you can have value for your money. Next slide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Bitayo. That was quite interesting. If you have questions and answers, please jot them down. There will be time for question, answers, and general observation. We would go right into the next class, the next lecture, please, pardon me. This will be an online teaching. I hope Dr. Chijioke Ukebu is standing by. It's going to be a virtual teaching. Please get your pen and paper and jot down as Dr. Ukebu lectures us on the effect of climate change on feed and fodder development in livestock farming, overview of the adverse impacts in livestock agriculture as a business, the effect of heat stress and drought caused by climate change. Please, let's welcome Dr. Chijioke Ukebu.
Privileged to be among the great men and ladies of Nigeria. I must thank the Danida Fellowship Alumni Nigeria that came into collaboration with the Royal Danish Embassy in Nigeria to enhance animal production and feed quality through the topic climate change, the effect of climate change on animal feed and fodder in Nigeria. That's the first slide. Climate change is a global source of concern. This is because of its devastating effects on the environment, especially in agriculture, particularly on animal feed and the fodder in Nigeria. The changing climate patterns, the altered rain distribution, the increased temperature and the extreme weather arising from climate change affect the growth and the quality, including the availability of fodder crops for essential livestock nutrition. With the quality and the purpose of unraveling these effects, the climate change on unraveling this effect on the climate change on animal feed and fodder in Nigeria. This study began with an introduction and objective. The next slide, I need my slide. Actually, in the climate change and its effect on animal feed, it is an issue that is of growing global concern these days, which so many scientists and policymakers have given significant attention, of which this particular alumni is also trying to provide its own solution for the use of farmers and policymakers in the agricultural sector. It's a long-term alteration. As we all know, the issue of climate change. In the global and regional climate patterns, it encompasses the shift in temperature, precipitation, and weather extremes. But it is attributed largely to human activities, industrial activities, and agricultural activities. Next slide. The objective. Our objective is to unravel the effects of climate change on animal feed and fodder. This paper has a sole objective to investigate the specific impacts of climate change on fodder and feed within Nigerian context. The effects of changing climate patterns in the areas of rainfall distribution, the increased temperature, and more extreme weather events. Above all, how this affects the growth, the quality, and availability of our fodder crops for our livestock nutrition. Next slide. We also talk about the methodology that we used in arriving at these results. Actually, we used the secondary sources of data, the personal observation, and interview. I happen to come from the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. I'm from Imo State, Ibuta local government to be precise. I know the effects, the direct effects of climate change. Not quite a long time that we had a flooding that ravaged our livestock, the cassava farms, the the maize farms, and even the maize farms that we have here around my place in Uguta, the Ahuda area of River State, which I know NEMA and other agencies came to our rescue. Next slide. The theoretical framework. We utilize the agricultural resilience and ecological resilience theories. We know the Kalsauer and the Hollins theory in this area. Calling on the Hollins theory of agricultural resilience, the farmers and stakeholders are compelled to adopt adaptive strategies such as crop diversification,
Dr. Chijoke, sir.
Techniques.
Dr. Chijoke, sir, kindly share your slide so that your students can follow you, please. Your screen, rather.
My slide.
Kindly share your
Slide
screen.
is with Madam. Okay. Come and use the slide.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. On this. Bring it out. The slide is there. And do the climate change. Take it one. Hold on. It's supposed to be there. Ground. Hello?
Yes, sir, we are with you.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I handed over the slide to Mrs. William, so I thought it would be in the system there.
Okay, just go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, because I gave it out. So, talking on the agricultural resilience, like I said, that the farmers should, as stakeholders, should diversify, adopt the system of crop diversification, improve water management techniques, and cultivation of resilient fodder crops and species. So going forward, the farmers and investors in agri enterprise requires integrated approaches that enhance feed and fodder in Nigeria. Coming to this angle, we know very, very well that due to the climate change and the temperature, from droughts and precipitation. So we are now saying and advocating by this resilience strategy adoption, that when the farmers adopt the system of planting resilient crops or resilient species of crops, that our livestock will not suffer from the disadvantages of this climate change and climate change. The climate change proper. We know very, very well that climate change means the changes that occur within the environment and caused by warming of the planet due to the natural variability or as a result of human activity. This is caused by the increasing level of greenhouse gases within the environment. I'm so sorry that this slide is not showing, but going further, these gases such as carbon dioxide, the CO2, the methane, CH4, and water vapor trap heat from the sun and prevent it from being released back into the space, leading to a rise in temperature. I'm getting the slide. Animal feed and fodder. Animal feed constitutes the entire products from agricultural activities which provide food and essential nutrients to animals, such as protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, more than a bit, such as protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals necessary for animal growth, production, and overall performance. Climate change has also been identified as one of the essence, as one of the reasons why we are not actually getting the best out of our fodder availability and fodder needs of the animals. The Australian Academy of Science, 2015, sees it as the alteration in the pattern of climate over a long period of time due to a combination of natural and induced causes. It is also a change in the pattern and arrangement of weather and related changes in oceans, land surfaces, and ice sheets occurring over time scales of decades or longer. I'm so sorry for any of these visual defects. We're trying to make sure that are you getting it? That our material is not trying to show up, because we hope that it will be correctly. You've seen it. Yeah. The chemistry and biochemistry of climate change. By the chemistry and biochemistry of climate change, we're talking about the greenhouse gases. This comprises of the carbon dioxide, the methane, and the nitrous oxide. The carbon dioxide, which are produced from the burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and various industrial processes, traps heat in the atmosphere by absorbing infrared radiation, leading to greenhouse effects. On the other hand, methane, if released from agricultural practices, example is the enteric fermentation in the ruminant animals. The landfills and the natural gas extraction also is one of the effects. This traps the heat that the CO2, though it is present in smaller quantities, affects the animals and the fodder materials. the chemical reaction and the feedback loops. This comprises the carbon cycle disruption and permafrost storage. Carbon cycle disruption increases the CO2 cycle. The elevated CO2 leads to ocean acidification and dissolves in seawater to form carbonic acids with adverse effects and impact on marine life.
Dr. Chijioke, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
What slide are you on now so that we can match it with?
Okay, the slide is on.
Yes, yeah. It is.
Okay. Connect back to the slide. Let me see. All right. They have put their slide. All right. Okay. Yeah. So, get back, or do I continue from the deforestation, or do we get back since the slide is now on?
From deforestation, okay, that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. One of the effects of climate change, as we all know, is the issue of and the effect of deforestation. Forest clearing, as we all know as farmers, both crop farmers and livestock farmers, is one of the effects that has been causing a deep down effect on the growth of our animals, the growth of the fodder and the feed materials that are meant to be available for our agriculture and our animals for consumption. Forest clearing in that aspect, wood logging and urbanization reduces carbon sequestration and it increases greenhouse emission. Next slide. Industrial activities. In this area, manufacturing such as cement production, the steel and aluminum profile production releases large amount of greenhouse gases, which affects the productivity of animal feed ingredients, causing precipitation and evaporation, which affects the growth of our vegetation, which are meant to serve as our fodder materials for the service of our animals. So climate change has been posing a serious threat towards the sustainability of animal production. Next slide, agriculture. You can see with me that one of the serious effects of our climate change is flooding. Just yesterday, we saw what happened in Borno State. The whole place was overflooded with flood. Let us assume that some of our farmers planted their maize, their soya, their wheat, and look at what we are facing. The feed production and fodder, example being the maize, the wheat, and other fodder material cultivation is being affected by the use also of fertilizer, which releases methane and nitrogen oxide, potent to greenhouse gases. Next slide. The chemical reactions. The chemical reactions. Chemical reactions and the feedback loops. This comprises the carbon cycle disruption and permafrost thawing. Carbon cycle disruption increases the CO2 cycle. Elevated CO2 leads to ocean acidification and dissolves in seawater to form carbonic acid with adverse impacts on marine life. By the time this acidification takes effect, you discover that the aspect of aqualife growth and aqualife development, which serves as one of the sources of raw material for feed making, like the area of fish meal, the shrimps that are crushed to give us the protein which we require in the formulation of feed for our animals, is adversely affected if the aquatic life and the climate change has been the effect has been so devastating on our animal production. the effects of climate change on animal feed, and fodder. The changes disrupts the timing and the yield of our grasses. That is, by reducing the nutritional quality, reduced protein, increased fiber, it reduces it in the sense that on the aspect of the nutritional quality, the elevated carbon dioxide lowers the concentration of the essential nutrients like the protein, the minerals, and the vitamins in plant-based feed. This directly impacts on the nutritional quality of fodder for livestock. Apart from that, there is also an increase in plant fiber, like we stated here, as some plants may produce more fiber under high carbon dioxide conditions, which has the capacity of reducing the digestibility of feed. You know very well with me that during the hot weather, our animals tend to take more water. Then the next is the plant growth and the yield. The climate change affects the yield. It alters growing conditions, affecting the yield and quality of feed crops. Changes in the temperature, the precipitation patterns, and the extreme weather events can stress the plants and reduce their yields. In relation to pests and diseases, warmer temperature and altered humidity levels can increase the prevalence of pests and plant diseases, further impacting the crop yields and quality. The feed availability. Changes in climate affects the availability of arable land. You can see with me, even in the last picture we showed there, you can see that because of the flood, we cannot even plant, and those crops that we've grown cannot even give a good yield, thereby reducing the available land space for us to harness towards developing a sustainable animal feed and fodder. The changes also reduces crop yield, like we said, and it can lead to higher feed costs, affecting the overall economies of livestock production. Presently, feed costs constitutes 80% of the total cost of every livestock. A common poultry feed now is not less than 26,000 naira in the market due to the effects of climate change. We cannot have it in abundance due to the fact that the farmers are now suffering the issues of drought, high climatic effects like the weather change, then deferred or extended rainfall distribution. So our farmers cannot actually lay claim to the quantity and productivity of their yield. Next slide. Other effects of the climatic change are, like we said, the food insecurity, even in man. We know very well, like the areas of cassava production. I told you that I'm from the Niger Delta region, preferably Izombe to be particular. Where there is gas flea, we can no longer have coconuts. We can no longer have a good yield of cassava. The maize productivity can no longer be ascertained. Where you're supposed to have 4 or 5 cones, what you're going to be having is 1 or 2. Then water scarcity. There is always the prevalence of dry wells. In the areas we are now having gas flare, in the areas we are having oil spillage and all that. So we are now having water scarcity due to this kind of effects that is ravaging the globe. Then the crop availability, due to the fact that the available land for productivity and planting is no longer there. Either they are affected by drought, high temperature, and other effects. The farmers can no longer lay claim on what they actually to bring to the market. Then other economic impacts that we know, there is high rate of poverty and loss of business capital. Some of us are borrowing a huge sum of money to make sure that we call back to business. But we cannot get back to our feed mills, we cannot get back to our farms, or even where we are storing our forages for the consumption of our animals, due to the fact that there is limited forage productivity or the pastorals. Next slide. The way forward. The way forward, as I called it, is the areas of mitigation and adaptation measures. 1, implementation of practices that will help farmers and their crops cope with climate change impacts. Example is planting improved seedlings that can tolerate heat. Note here that crop diversification is an option, and water management techniques is also a veritable available way out. Number 2, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions and enhancing carbon sequestration. Example is to engage in the clean energy, such as solar energy, the wind gauge, to control heat wave against our livestock, against our plants, and against all the fodder materials that are coming up for the sustainability of our livestock animals. Number 3 is to ensure long-term viable seedlings and fodder that will withstand erosion. In fact, here, I will also suggest some plants that are deep-rooted that will also, at any given time, withstand erosion. By so doing, we will not lack forage. Trees like mango tree and other tree crops that can stand and serve as our forage for the sustainability of livestock. Next slide. The resilient ecosystem. Drawing from the ecosystem, according to Hollins in his theory, where he said that we have to have a shift in farm management practices and technological innovation that alters fertilizer content through its application, timing, or location of crop activities, thereby improving the pathogen management and quality crop yield. Number 2, the planting of resilient plants and crops that can absorb climate disturbances while maintaining value and structure. We are also talking about the area of international collaborations and cooperations, whereby there will be an agreed terms and conditions and a way to encourage all the partners, all the stakeholders across the globe, across the continent, to adopt a one measure policy, just like in animal production or animal health, one health policy. We should adopt a one mitigation policy that can salvage and reduce the effects of climate change on animal feed and fodder. I think at this point, going to the next slide, we may say thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much for doing justice to the topic. Please stand by, sir, for questions and answers. Please, if you have, it's question and answer session and general observation. Please, if you have any question you want to ask, you can write it down, or if you prefer to ask in person, you can raise your hand. Then I want someone to help me jot the question.
Okay. My question is to the first presenter. In his presentation, he said feed additives are encouraged to enhance growth. Some of these feed additives have been found to have a negative effect on human beings, and he didn't specify the type of additives that should be, balancing both for the animal and the human. So I want him to specifically mention some feed additives that will not be harmful to human body. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Femi, did you get that? Okay, I'm going to the next person.
Thank you very much. My question goes to the second presenter. Is he online?
I'm here.
Okay, yes, thank you.
I'm here.
Okay,
Here.
yes. You're going to way forward. First of all, I want to appreciate how you have given justice to the paper. Now, on the way forward matter, that's where I have a concern, where you suggested that there is need for further collaboration, essentially worldwide, global collaboration with stakeholders, with funders, perhaps multinationals, and then countries coming together to evolve a one-way system. My question is, our country like Nigeria, where we've seen a situation where there are lack of capacity, there are lack of enabling environment for technocrats to give assistance to farmers, for instance. In such a situation, what can one do? Because when you have an enabling environment of other countries, you find even in Africa, other countries are moving forward, but Nigeria is moving backwards. What do we do? How can we come back to return to this way forward under a one-way system? Thank you.
Did you get that?
Thank you. Thank you. I think I heard him. I heard him very well.
All right, sir.
Are you hearing me?
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah. I said while I was delivering my paper that I'm from the Niger Delta. I know that Nigeria is a signatory to issue the effects of
We have lost you, Dr. Chijioke. We can't hear you, sir. Okay. Dr. Chijioke, we had lost you for a moment.
To such agreement, we are supposed to develop. Can you hear me?
No, we cannot hear you, sir. We lost you for some minutes, sir.
Good afternoon. I really appreciate. I want to say thank you for the presentation. We are moving forward. For the purpose of this training, workshop this afternoon, going forward, we've had so much lectures, training on obtaining alternative livestock feed ingredients. What is the collaborators, the development organization doing?
Hello.
All right. This is my quest. With the present scarcity, the first presenter. Yes. With the present predicament of scarce grains, we know how scarce grains are expensive, and these are primarily the first source for ingredient for livestock. What are the alternatives that we can look into? and what is the government doing, or what are the development partners doing, going forward to help livestock farmers to upscale their feeding balances or diets for their livestock. Thank you very much. I hope you got the question. Thank you.
Dr.
Because tomorrow a facilitator is coming to talk about feed and fodder. As his core view, is a professor in the university and he came with a lot of such information you are asking already. So I don't know if you're hearing me. So I think it would have been better if you're coming tomorrow, raise the authority who have that veto power for this training, deal with it before you ask this question. But if you won't be here tomorrow, I think Femi is also an authority in feed and fodder. That is his desk in the ministry. He can answer you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Dr. Chijoke still online? Okay. Any other question, please?
Thank you very much. Mine is not a question. I just want to add my voice to the first presentation, to what he has, enumerated. Thank you, Mr. Femi Bitayo, for that presentation. You have really, there was in-depth knowledge of what you did. I just want to add that there should, under that biosecurity measures, I don't know, I wanted us to add and make it explicit that the use of appropriate PPE should be added to it. PPE, yes. And again, that is personal protective equipment should be added to that, because with that, it will go a long way to reduce spread of diseases and infection. And then feed regimen should also be emphasized for improved productivity, because it may look, there are certain things that look simple, but when it is, when people try to embrace it, it will yield a lot. Feed regimen include the time of feeding an animal. It should be consistent. If you really want the best out of an animal, make sure that you feed the animal at a particular time. It is very important, and the type of feed that you are giving to the animal shouldn't change, or or introducing another feed abruptly into the way you are feeding the animal. So consistent feed, a particular feed, and if you want to change to another feed, it is something that you introduce gradually, mixing it with what you are feeding the animal before. That is part of feed regimen. It's very important that we add that to that paper. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your contribution.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to appreciate the organizers of this program. In every event I find myself, especially as concerns farmers, both crop and animal, I do tell people who are ready to hear that farmers' education is very important. I must confess that I learned a lot from the first presentation, even the second one. But coming to the first presentation, I remember then in the village where farmers filled their animals with water that they have already washed their hand, dirty water. Sometimes I tell people our beans went abroad and was rejected, but nobody knows where the beans is today. Those beans, I believe, were consumed by people. and it was rejected because of accumulation of chemical residue. Today we are learning that those things that occur in crop also occur in animals. This is just they say that if you are not informed, you will be deformed. And I want to beg as farmers advocates that farmers' education is very paramount for us to achieve nutrition and food security. Like a farmer who don't have much water may not starve to feed the animal with a good water. After washing their hand, they will pass the contaminated water to the animal to drink. Never knew that whenever the animal is killed, they are taking back the contaminated residue that they give to the water. I want to appreciate these fellows. You know, some of us, some are aspiring to be a fan, and me also am aspiring to join the fellow. Because some education, you know, attending workshop is one thing, attending training is one thing. But there is training you will attend, no matter, learning is a continuous process. We learn every day. I must confess, by the grace of God, I'm agriculturist by profession, though agricultural extensionist. So even the animal in animal feed, we would want them also to be inculcating other people like extensionists and the rest, even not in animal production, to train them also, so that this type of information we get to the farmers, that core farmers. We are fed by the rural farmers, and farmers' education remain paramount in any way. Thank you, the fellowship people. Thank you for calling us. Our Fan FCT is ever ready to work with you. Call on us at any time. Train us, we will train others. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other question, contribution? Before I give the mic to Mr. Femi Bitayo to answer the questions. Any other question, observation, contribution? All right, Mr. Femi, over to you.
Thank you very much. This clearly shows that we all listened with keen interest, because feed is a very important factor in production that nobody can push aside. It is noteworthy to let you know that we have a lot of feed additives, both the good and the bad, both the approved and unapproved, both the registered and unregistered. So that shows that in Nigeria, if any additive is not registered, it's not approved, because some of them have not been tested, some of them have not been certified. So we can categorically state that we have certain good feed additives that can be introduced to the feeding regime of the animals. We have some probiotics, we have some enzymes, we have some vitamins and mineral supplements, we have antioxidants, we have amino acids, we have omega-3 fatty acids. These are some of the feed additives. You know, when we are talking about probiotics, I want to make mention of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, and some of these things are used to enhance gut health and digestion in ruminants. And when we are talking about vitamins and minerals, all these things are additives. I'm talking about vitamin E and selenium. And despite that, we have certain bad antibiotics that they have been cancelled. When we're talking about tetracyclines, we're talking about penicillins. They are one of the examples of additives that the eyes are on them. Searchlight, beam light are on them. And there are certain red flags that have been flagged over them for farmers' use. But I want to say categorically, there are so many organic additives that have been tested and proven. In fact, Nigeria is even, the government is even flagging off the use of organic additives that are of very good use without any side effects. And I want to make mention of some of them that have been proved that we have publications for. Moringa. Moringa is a very good additive that even local farmers have tested and they have testified of their importance in promoting the health of animal, and they have no adverse effect in their, I mean, they have no adverse effect on human. Concerning alternative feed, you know, because of high cost of ingredients, not only ingredients, but conventional ingredients. Conventional ingredients they are ingredients that are, their use is being on very high competition between man and animal. When we talk about maize, we talk about other feed ingredients. But thank God for science, thank God for research. There have been research of certain feed ingredients that can be used. But one of the things we are trying to raise up is that some of these researches in universities should be rolled out to the public, should be simplified, should be interpreted for farmers to make use of, and let's have a better competition. So those are one of those things that I want to mention. And government is doing a lot in educating the farmers on the use of some of our crop residues. We have a lot of crop residues that are of very good energy value and protein value. But the problem is where they are concentrated, we don't have adequate network. For those things to be reached. And peradventure, some farmers are not well trained on the use of all these crop residues that are bound in area of cooperative advantages. So effort is being made by government. In fact, my department have championed certain trainings whereby we train farmers on the use of alternative feed ingredients. Not only on the use, even in fact the government, there's a program that we have strategic storage for some of these alternatives, that these things are often rolled out to farmers in times of scarcity. Probably if you're a farmer and that's not gotten to you, keep your finger crossed. Government is for the people and by the people. Thank you.
Questions? Okay. All right.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate Mr. Femi for a brilliant talk on AMR. I want to let us know that this is a big problem we are facing, especially if you interact with local farmers. Local farmers, once they got to know a particular product, probably they use it for their birds or they use it for their goats, and it works. Subsequently, if such animal, any of the animal, shows such signs of sickness, you see them moving, running to pharmacies or veterinary place where they get all these drugs and they give to their animals. This is really having more problem on us. I believe we professionals, veterinarians, animal scientists, livestock extension workers, we need to sensitize farmers. We have a lot to do. If this industry will survive, I believe we need to work in harmony. NAFDAC, they have the list of additives that are approved. But the one we see in the market, you see a lot of them enter into the country through, backyard and no NAFDAC approval and all sorts of. And these, I know, is having big problem on us in the country. I want to suggest in this, at this level that we need to do a kind of step down training to our local farmers. Let them be involved, let them know what is good and what is bad for their production. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name once again is Paul Obasi. My brother have spoken on the AMR and AMR use, so I will speak on the feeds. I would have maybe say it during the plenary section when the participants who went to Denmark will speak. But maybe the farmers, our farmers here in this program might not be in that section. That's why I want to advise farmers. I want also to thank the organizers, because one of the issues that came out in Denmark when we went for the course was the action plan. And when I got information for this program yesterday, I was very much excited, because I said, yes, we have started implementing what we agreed upon in Denmark as regards to the action plan. In Denmark, when we were going for excursion and visit to farms, I found out that many of the arable land in Denmark is overstocked with feeds. So it came to a time I called on one of the coordinator, Professor Akumadexi, asked him, why is it that all the arable land we passed here were overstocked with a feed? He told me that in 2000 there was a law propagated and also a policy in Denmark that 75% of the arable land in Denmark should be stocked with feeds. I started reasoning, and it called to mind that in Nigeria we don't have such a structure on ground, and that is why we are having a serious issue on farmers' headers clash. And if you read our topography and our ecological zone across the country, you find out that we have a very minimal area of land that we are using as farmers for food production. We can count of crop production, livestock production, and what have you. But we are still lacking in the area of feed production. So it is a lesson to be learned here that our farmers should start having a sort of learning curve on how to gradually moving towards production of feeds, even using some of their hectares of land and some of the feed experts that we have here, that they should start encouraging farmers on how to go into feed production, because we are having a lot of issues in that area in Nigeria. Last year we went to Gwagwalada and the Kuje area council. It was only one man that has a livestock farm, and by one side having a feed lock in one side to feed his animal. But even in Nigeria here, some private sectors are not into feed production. It is mainly some few farmers. But in advanced country and the other areas that are having a good livestock management and a sustainable food security, as to say, they have private sector that are into it. A farmer cannot go into livestock production without having a good knowledge of feeds, because that is where the productivity commences or starts. So I want to encourage the farmers that are in this house and in this particular program to start taking within that curve, and also take action on how we can improve on our feed production, because it will help to also rear our livestock, and also to also increase our finances as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other observation? Okay.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I think what the last speaker was trying to say, that every individual should have it in mind to have pasture. What you mentioned by feed, you wanted to say pasture farming. When you have your pasture, you'll be able to feed your ruminants. We have different type of grasses, whereby we have stylos, then we have giant grasses, then we have napier. All these napier, then we have juncal. The junca, you can plant it within few periods, you can even harvest it. In Nigeria nowadays, we are trying to go into pasture production, whereby our herders will not need to be roaming about. Animals that you have been roaming all in waste, they even sweat like human beings, and they lost a lot of water that can even make their body to be robust. If you can continue to have more knowledge about pasture making, then pasture planting, in fact, in future, you can know that any farmer that ventures into this will make a lot of money, even more than the such as maize or any other one. So, Speaker, that is what he was trying to say. And I believe if every one of us can have this in mind, even coming to Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Department of Animal Husbandry Services, you have pasture and ring division that will help any farmer that have interest in doing this. Thank you very much.
Very much, sir. I'm aware that Dr. back online, but before you answer the question he was trying to answer earlier, I want to give.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to make an appeal. Now that we have provided you people with our email addresses, I appeal that these topics we are treating and the one we treat tomorrow will be sent to our emails, because the speed with which the lectures were delivered are so high that we may not be able to grab everything. And we need to step this training down, because it's very necessary. This pastoralism we are talking about now, this silage and fodder, we are not into it in Nigeria. That's why the first speaker said that there was a competition between the animal and the human on the ingredients of feed. So if you can adopt this fodder and the silage production, then that will relieve us from competing with the animal on the food ingredients. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to make one a very important personality in our midst. The director from the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, in person of Mrs. Ajayi Sarah. Please, round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause. She wants to say hi to the house.
Good morning, able chairperson, Madam Ikeria. Good morning to my fellow Danida Fellowship members. And I also greet my colleagues who are watching online. And then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sarah Ajayi. I'm a deputy editor with NAFDAC. Also, fellowship member. I attended the One Health program in 2023. And I also want to commend the organizers, Ma, you're doing a good job. I learned just like what the farmer said. I came in late and I was able to, it's quite educative, and I pray that all of us will go home well informed than when we came in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. Very much, Ma. Dr. Chijioke. Dr. Chijioke, can you go ahead and answer the question now? Dr. Chijioke, sir.
Hello?
We can hear you now, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the questions can come.
Yes, someone asked a question earlier. You were answering the question before the network disrupted.
So, yeah. He was of the view that since this is a global issue, the issue of climate change, and I actually posited for an international collaboration and individual collaboration, I'm of the view that if our government, like what I'm trying to say there is, we should, in as much as we have extension officers in other areas of agricultural practices or sectors, like the first speaker has just said, we should as well develop, train. The Federal Minister of Agriculture, the UBEC can as well inculcate climate smart agriculture in the school curriculum so that it will now be a veritable opportunity, avenue to grow resource persons who can now fill up the window, the gap of this climate smart agricultural information from the primary school to the secondary school to even the higher institution. So in that case, we will no longer lack accessible or available knowledge or information in this area. Another area I want to say is, it is still a strange information to our people. From what I gathered from the speakers in the floor of the hall there, I can see they are eager, they are interested to accept this information or this crusade or this advocacy, but the issue is that we are not taking it at the top, but they are craving and asking us to bring it to the bottom. So people like us that have veritable information about this through the Federal Minister of Agriculture and Danida, this giant body that we have put together, which I'm part of, we are ready at any given time. In fact, I'm very sorry for not coming in physically. I am presently delivering this paper right at Southeast Poultry Summit, holding at Enugu. If not that they are holding simultaneously today and tomorrow, and which I'm also a speaker here, I would have been there present. But I'm of the view and also supporting and also promising that at any given time they are called or even they put up these questions, we are ready to give it to them fresh, accurate, and very, very apt. Thank you very much. Hello?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We can hear you.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope he has answered your question. Any other question, please? Any observation? Question, observation? Right. In the absence of any other question and observation, I want to invite the National Coordinator, Mrs. Ukeria, to address every one of us. For her address.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of us. And I thank basically the alumni who have been working tirelessly. I thank the Danida Fellowship for the privilege opportunity. I also thank our superiors in the office who allowed us to be here. I want to first and foremost, do a little catch up with the farmers because they are the people we are serving. We read animal husbandry, we are Minister of Agriculture. If there's no farmers, then who are we working for? So I appreciate you people. And I want to ask, what have you people to say about this meeting? Is there things you think that they would have been added or they would have been removed? Or like I heard the other lady thanking the Danida for this opportunity for the farmers to be trained. If you have got something, like she said, it's supposed to be an extension of the Danida to train others, to tell others what you have learned. Or is there something you think we still have tomorrow? Like I told us, tomorrow we are still dealing with 2 topics. And those 2 topics, I believe all of us will benefit. But before that tomorrow, is there anything you think, why don't we do a little touch here, a little touch here? Like my director will always say that thing you think, if I don't say it, I can't sleep. If there's something like that, we'll be happy to hear it. If there's nothing and you think we did well, I'd like us to just appreciate the Danidas. Yes. Appreciate them for this ample opportunity. Every kobo we are spending, if you look down here, you will see it's sponsored by DFC and Royal Danish Embassy. Every penny they provided. And they have a slogan that says, inspire, connect, then you act. We are trying to act now by carrying out this training. We got inspired because they also picked us. From nowhere, they paid our ticket, took us to Denmark, trained us, and brought us back. So we are trying to do same to others. And also want to appreciate the same question with our own Danida Fellowship. Is there farmers that were supposed to be here today that we are not here? We can still bring them tomorrow. Yes. If there are people you think that will be able to benefit and let others know, let them come tomorrow. We'll be happy to have them. Because we are finishing this training tomorrow. Thank you. Think we have our lunch. I think. Entertainment. Is lunch served? Okay. You want to speak?
Madam, thank you very much. You've done wonderfully. I want to add,
please, lunch will be served on your seat. So please just do us the cooperation to just sit on your seat. We'll bring lunch to you. Thank you.
thank you very much. Based on what Madam Eze just said, I want to suggest that if possible, if it is possible for us to bring toll millers, any of the toll millers that we know, feed toll millers, if they can be here, I think it will also help us a little bit, if it is possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have heard the coordinator. Please be here tomorrow. Join every bit training as I Let's be here tomorrow, 9 for 9 time. No Nigerian time. That we can go early tomorrow. That time. No Danish time. No 9 for 9. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming. You have something to say.
Sorry, I am not dragging us back, but it just came to my mind now. Madam, this question is actually, this remark is actually addressed to the issue you just raised not long ago. I think one other thing I think should be here tomorrow, I don't know whether it's going to be around anyway, is that let's look at a kind of workshop with, we're talking about folders and this in processing and distribution. Can we bring in videos, practical know-how into this topic tomorrow? Let it not just be a table, but practical. If there can be videos, I am personally interested in that.
I pleaded with him, and he told me to fly in today to make sure he's here physical. Because at times, physical presentation is better for us than all this online. So I don't even know the time is landing in the country. All I'm praying and saying, make sure you are here tomorrow. So if I talk to him, if there is, why not? But if there is not, please bear with us. Maybe we think about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch and have a good day.